Hey y'all, so I'm here with another video. I am here to mostly review, I'm gonna put the Bachelor finale slash after the final rose, but to be quite honest, I'm really here to just talk about after the final rose. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, because I kind of already knew who was going to, win, like we all did. I really had no interest as far as I was concerned, so I didn't come in until like the second hour, and then I watched like the whole part with Michelle, and then I left and I watched King of Queens, and then I came back and I watched the last 5 minutes, and then I watched after the final rose. And so I caught everything else that happened before that. I caught sorry, Capri Sun. I caught on Twitter. So we ain't gonna really talk about the finale, because do we really care about the finale? Do we care? Do we care? Like somebody said, y'all could have emailed us this entire season. We don't care, and it was a waste of it was a waste of time. It was a waste of time. So let's get to it. So where I came in, like I said, is Michelle was talking to Matt. Now apparently previous to this, his mama and them had came. Now I did see his brother, who's fine as hell and reminds me of like Orion, which is Omarion's brother. That's what, maybe because of the braids part. And he got music and is sickening. Like, that's the Matt that they should have had on. They should have had his brother on, not him. But apparently he had some conversation with his mama where his mama told him like, you don't need to rush into anything, and like love is not the end all be all. I'm actually really hungry. I don't know why that just hit me. I'm super fucking hungry. I'm probably gonna order something while I'm even talking about. So anyway, so we get to Michelle. Like I said, when I came in, he's talking to Michelle, and Michelle was being all nice and stuff, and I could see it on his face. I mean, even if I didn't know that he was going to choose Rachel, Matt, he's like a dead giveaway when he's about to send somebody home. So she's being all nice and telling him how much she's in love with him, and then she pulls out this jersey that says James and Mrs. James, and then he was like, I have to be real with you, like I'm not sure if I can get married. What did he say? Well, he said, first of all, he told her that he wasn't in love with her. That's what he said, number one. Then he said that he couldn't be with her because, he's thinking about, the fact that he has to propose in a day or two, and he's just not there. That's not where he's at with the situation right now. So, of course, he, Michelle, he leaves Michelle or whatever, and you got my girl Michelle crying on the floor, not on the floor, but on the floor crying or whatever. You done left her heartbroken. Then you go outside, and Chris Harrison comes up, and he's like, I know that was really hard, and Matt's sitting there crying, and he was like, I had to be real, like I wasn't in love with her. And then, Chris talks about, well, I'm pretty sure like what your mom said probably got to you. And this is what I want to say about that. If you've been watching my reviews, y'all know that this is, if not, I'll tell you, this is my first season like of watching The Bachelor since the season where the guy on the reunion left the girl that he had picked and went with the girl that he didn't pick. Whoever that was, that's the last time I watched The Bachelor. So I've said multiple times, almost every episode, that I personally don't think it makes sense for y'all to go through this short amount of time and then get engaged. So I am not mad with the reasoning, because it is kind of dumb to me to do this whole thing and think that you're going to be engaged and marry somebody at the end of this process. I think that's a little bit too much. Like Flavor of Love, Rock of Love, I Love New York, Chance of Love. When those shows were on, it didn't end with, oh, we got married. It ended with, okay, you're the person that I'm going to be with. You're going to be my girlfriend. You're going to be my boyfriend, the person I'm going to be committed to, and we'll see how this rocks. That's how this should go as far as I'm concerned. Maybe that's not like enough risk for people, but that's more than enough for me as far as I'm concerned. But so that part is fine. But this is what I don't understand, Matt. This is what kills me. So for hometowns, when Serena P was honest and said that she wasn't sure if she would get married, not only did you send her home because of that, but you then came the next rose ceremony, which was 2 rose ceremonies ago, and said, well, I'm really looking to get married at the end of this. That's my goal. My goal is to get married at the end of this. So if you're not ready to be engaged, then you should just leave. What was the point of that whole speech, Matt? What was the point of sending Serena P home? What was the point of you putting yourself through the heartache of Serena P if you really did like her, for you to turn around and do the same thing? I know told Serena Pease, like, this is a slap in the face at the end of the day. Because maybe right then and there, you wasn't her person as far as her being able to marry. But maybe if you would have gave her the same chance that you gave Rachel, which is, let's just see where this goes as far as the relationship, maybe we can get there, then maybe she would still be here. That's what really sent me. It wasn't even that you just sent her home. You literally came to that next rose ceremony, which was only 2 rose ceremonies ago, and said out of your mouth, I am looking to get married at the end of this. So if you are not, you need to go home. What was the point of all of that, man? What was the point of all of that? That's what really sent me about the whole thing. I don't really care. I don't know what happened because, like I said, I went to watch King of Queens after Michelle was crying on the floor and he talked to Chris Harrison. Because I don't give a fuck about Rachel. I don't care. So I went to go watch King of Queens, and then I came back. And then when I came back, she was giving the whole speech about, oh, how much I love you and I'm so in love with you and all this other stuff. And then he told her, like, I do want to try to be with you, but I can't marry you because that's not where I'm at. And I'm so sorry. I want y'all to, can y'all be real with me as the audience? Is it just me, or did I never seen the spark or connection between Rachel and Matt? Maybe The Bachelor didn't do a good job of it, or maybe, I don't know, but this entire season, outside of Rachel and her post and her likes and stuff like that, I just never seen the actual spark between Matt and Rachel ever. And from in the beginning, I didn't see it with him and Michelle, but as time went on, I started to see it more. I don't see any type of spark, love, fire, connection, or anything between Matt and Rachel. So that's why it's even more confusing, because I don't see that it factor with y'all. I just don't see it. So then we get on to the after the final rose, because like I said, who cares about what happened? We knew what was going to happen. Who cares? Let's get to what's really important. Okay. So we got Emmanuel. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm thirsty, and I'm probably actually gonna grab another one. I'm actually definitely gonna grab another one. So Emmanuel, okay, Emmanuel. I don't know, like, if y'all have seen him places, but like, he like has hosted some things before. Like, that wasn't my first time seeing him. Like, he's hosted stuff before. I've seen him hosting before. The only thing about him is that his jacket was like way too tight, but he's a black man, if y'all don't know, and he was a stand-in for Chris Harrison. As y'all know, the whole situation with Chris Harrison, what I wish they would have talked about that a little bit more, but they really didn't. But whatever. So, as soon as we get there, Emmanuel gets into the shits. He's like, look, we got a lot of stuff to talk about, about the allegations, about what Chris said, about what Rachel did. So let's just get into it. So he said he's going to bring out Michelle first. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about Miss Michelle Obama. Okay? I know she's not. Let me tell you about Michelle. So this whole season, I've been standing for, Brie in the way that she looks, like, and when I mean the way she looks, I mean like her outfit choices, her hair choices. She always look fucking amazing. Michelle, bitch, you turned it. You better come through and show him what he missed. Michelle looked so fucking good. She ain't never looked good this entire season. That's the best that she's looked since I seen her on my screen. Michelle, you looked a fucking amazing. Body on point, outfit on point, heels on point, hair on point. Hair could have still been a little bit better, but hair was better than it has been this whole season. I am here for it. You looked good, bitch. She looked good. So she come out, Emmanuel was like, well, did you get closure or anything like that after the whole situation happened? And she said no. This is what she said that really had me and the rest of, what do y'all call it, Bachelor Nation? Y'all have us fucked up right here. Michelle said that after he left, after Matt left, and she was so fucking distraught that she asked the producers if she could talk to Matt. Not because she wanted to change his mind, not because she wanted to quote unquote fight for him, because that's what he's talking about. Oh, you need to fight for me. No, she don't. No, she do not. Like, what makes you worth it to fight for, my nigga? Nothing. She wanted to talk to him, and Matt refused. So you sat up there and said how much you cared and you didn't want to hurt her and all this other stuff, but you couldn't give her what she deserved, which is 2 minutes to just get a little bit of closure? The disrespect is too much for me. That sent me. That really, really, really sent me, okay? And then, Emmanuel asked her, how do you feel about, the whole situation with Rachel? And she was like, I ain't gonna lie, I was a little bit taken aback. She did say that she thinks that Rachel has a good heart. But in the nicest way, she was like, Rachel is very ignorant. Like, it's obvious that she's ignorant, okay, at the end of the day. And, wait, who? And then when he asked her about Chris, she was like, I mean, it added on even more to the bullshit, But the way that Michelle feels is like the rest of us. Like, all I know is that there's a whole bunch of apologies and statements, but where's the action? Where's the action at? I don't see no action being done. I just see a whole lot of, I'm sorry, I'll do better. We feel the same way, Michelle Obama. We feel the same fucking way. So then Emmanuel, sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm thirsty. I can't help it. So then Emmanuel was like, okay, Michelle, we gonna bring Matt out since you haven't seen Matt. So Matt comes out or whatever, and she sits there and she pretty much pours out her heart to him and tell her like why she was broken. Like, and seeing Michelle really talk to him, I was like, damn, she really did give a fuck about this ain't shit nigga. She really did. She cared. Like, she really, really, really cared. Because you could tell she was really, really hurt. And she was just like, I just don't understand why I wasn't given a conversation. Like, why is it that when I went to have a conversation, because I wasn't trying to get you back, I wasn't trying to fight for you or nothing like that, because you already know his ego was probably thinking that. I just want to have a conversation. Why couldn't you give me that? That's what you, at the bare minimum, owed me that. And he was like, I don't really have an excuse, but I did care for you. And I want to know why. Why? Was it... Is it because you was crying too much? Is it because you wanted to run and go to Rachel? Is it even if it's because you wanted a minute to yourself and you really just don't want to be bothered? But you're full of shit, man. You're full of shit. You're full of shit. You're full of shit. He pisses me off. He pisses me the hell off, okay? And then I think Emmanuel asked Michelle, like, are you, like, still in love with him or whatever? She was like, I'm not in love. Like, you could tell she over that nigga. Especially with what we found out at the end. She don't go fuck. She was like, in love with him? No, I'm not in love with him the way I was. Absolutely not. But I do care about him. I care about him. Like, he's cool people or whatever. But you could tell Michelle, she over that nigga. As she should be. As she should be, okay? Then she leaves off the stage and we're talking to just Matt or whatever. And let me say, shout out to Emmanuel because he was asking really, really, really good questions. He was asking really good questions, like, and good follow-ups. He did really good as far as like hosting this whole thing. Like I said, he did really good. So, he asked him like, what was the pressure like of being the first Bachelor? And Matt talked about, how he felt like he wanted to speak and act a certain way, because it was going to be the first time that, like, pretty much a lot of the Bachelor Nation's audience, which is mostly white women, a lot of times white, middle-aged, women or whatever, or like mid-20s to like, middle-aged women, like it was going to be the first time that somebody like me was going to be in their homes talking about, first time they was going to really even see like a black man and, and really see him and really hear about him and stuff like that, which I'm pretty sure that's true. He was like, so I just wanted to make sure I was coming off the right way, which to me, it was obvious that Matt was kind of sort of putting on, like, that's just from my opinion. It did seem like Matt was trying to put on airs and trying to carry himself a certain way so that white people didn't look at him a certain way. That's just facts. And I do feel for him because, they do talk about it a little bit later about, how as black people, we have to do that all the time. It's code switching. It's pretty much code switching. Okay. It's when you go from talking like how I'm talking like now to, yes, I can help you today. Oh, that would be lovely. That would be absolutely like, that'd be awesome. That's literally what has to happen half the time when we talk to white people. We can't really talk like ourselves because they'll judge us. And then, like he said, you'll take one of us and you'll judge the whole race, which is really not on us as black people to like be representative for the whole race. But it's like an internal thing that we kind of feel like, me being in like the only black girl in a lot of like classes and stuff like that. I always felt the need to like be the smartest or be a certain way because I'm the representation that y'all got. Y'all don't got no other representation other than the bullshit y'all see on TV, which is in the media, which is normally not good. So I got that. So I get it. He also said in a really slick way without saying it, he pretty much said that he felt like the franchise was using him, which they were. They were, because what did he say? He was like, oh, well, yeah, with like the franchise and network and what they're trying to do with like inclusivity and being diverse and stuff like that. And I just feel like that's where I fell. And then especially with everything that was going on, because I'm assuming they was filming probably during like last summer, probably when all of the civil unrest was going on. So I agree with him. I really feel like ABC probably absolutely, I felt like, used him. They used him. Those are facts that matter. In my opinion, they fucking used him, because y'all ain't never have a black bachelor, but now all of a sudden y'all got a black bachelor. After all of this civil unrest, now y'all got a black bachelor. And the thing about it is, y'all didn't even really do what y'all was fucking set out to do, because y'all got a black bachelor to ending up with a girl who got fucking who got racist ass tendencies. That's why I said, I will keep saying this. I feel like this whole thing was a scheme or a plot or something. And maybe that's why Matt like just seemed so like unbothered with the whole thing, because he probably really do feel set up. I would feel set up. If I was Matt, I'm sorry, and we're gonna get to Matt and how he needs to take responsibility. But if I was Matt, I would absolutely feel like I was set the fuck up. I would set the fuck up. That's how I would feel. I'm sorry. I would feel the same way. I would feel that way, period. And so, so he was talking about, just making people feel comfortable with your blackness, kind of like I was talking about before. So then he says, then Emmanuel asked him, like, why is it that you fell in love with Rachel? And he said, because of her authenticity, which is like, so if she was so authentic, then why y'all not together? Like, clearly she's not. Clearly she is not. She's showing you who she wants to show. She's not really showing who she truly is behind closed doors, or before she met you, who she was with her friends. So no, she's not authentic. Maybe that's what you thought she was. Maybe that's what you thought, but she's not, okay? So then what else also kills me is that, we talk about the rumors and stuff. He was like, when I first heard the rumors, I was just like, I'm not going to pay attention to them. It just is what it is. And I'm like, so hold the fudge to go on. Hold on. Pause. You heard the rumors about the woman that you're with possibly being racist or racially insensitive, as Emmanuel said. And you just chuck that up as if, oh, that's just rumors. And the reason that's confusing to me, I don't know, maybe Matt gets different rumors and stuff like that than the rest of us. He probably do. But my thing is, when I first heard everything about Rachel, it wasn't that I just heard it. I seen it. It wasn't just, oh, well, allegedly, she's like in pictures. There was actual footage to go along with that. I showed y'all the TikTok a couple videos ago of everything, it is that we found out about her. So I'm a little bit confused about that. But then he says, when he did find, but then, when he did get the pictures or seen the pictures, he just couldn't believe it. I don't understand. This is where I'm lost. I'm lost between you thinking it was just rumors and then you seeing the pictures. What was the timeline in between that? And how did that work out? And also what I would like to know is, when those rumors first came out, what was she saying? Was she in your ear like, babe, they're lying. That's not true. I would never. Like, because that's the only... Do y'all see what I mean? Something isn't adding the fuck up to me. Something's not making any sense to me. But anyway, he says that after he found that out, or he seen the pictures and stuff, he had a conversation with Rachel. And at some point in that conversation, he realized that she doesn't get what it's like for him to be a black man in America. And me and every other black woman in America was like this. Shut your dumb ass up. Shut your dumb ass up. So it took for all of that to happen, for you to realize that a young white woman from the South did not understand what it was like for you to be a black man. I'm trying to figure out, am I going to get to it or can I keep going? Am I going to get to it or can I keep going? I'm trying to figure it out. Okay. We'll get there, because I'm going to just hold on to that one point, because it's going to get brought up again, and that's when I'm really going to go the fuck off about it. So let's keep going. So they're not together anymore. That's what he said. And I got ha 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 in my notes. So Emmanuel, like I said, he was asking good questions. He was asking questions that like the white people wanted to know. Because as black people, we ain't want to know these questions. But I get why he was asking, because the questions that he was asking is definitely something I could hear a white person asking, which is like, and it's kind of what Chris Harrison was trying to make the excuse of. Well, it was in 2018, so he was like, what do you say to people who said that if y'all are together, like, why not figure this whole situation out together? Like, if 2018, if that's when it happened, and we're now in 2021, like, why wouldn't you try to, work that out? And Matt said what everybody else said, which is 2018 was not that long ago. Let's remember, we're only at the top of 2021. We're only at the top of 2021, okay? It wasn't that fucking long ago. It was not that long ago. Literally, it wasn't that fucking long ago. It just wasn't, okay? And he said, if you can't see how problematic that is in 2018, then you'll never get me. I appreciate that. I don't know. I appreciate that. I'll just say that. I appreciate that. Which I agree. Like, that's part of what our problem with Chris Harrison was. Like, he's talking about some, oh, in 2018 it was problematic, but now no, it's been problem-fucking-matic. And again, I'm so sorry. You cannot say that a 22-year-old at that time, you're 22, because she's 24 now, meaning that in 2018 she's probably 22. So that means you're probably fresh out of fucking college. So you're trying to tell me that you're either fresh out of college or about to be done with college, and you don't know nothing, especially in the times that we're in now. I'm gonna say it, I said it again. Ever since Trayvon Martin in 2012, Black Lives Matter has not let the fuck up. Every single year it's something, because we're always getting killed. So you cannot tell me that as a person in college or about to leave college in 2018, you had no the fuck idea. That just shows the willful ignorance, like Emmanuel said later. The willingness to be that fucking ignorant. Get the fuck out of here, okay? So so Matt pretty much said, when it comes to the whole thing about doing it together, that she can probably be redeemed, but she needs to do it alone. AKA, which he kind of said later, it is not, and as much as I get on Matt, I'm gonna give him this. It is not a black man's job to teach a white woman or any type of white person at all how to let go of their racial biases. That's not our job. It's not, and I said it wrong on the last video, but I'll say it correctly this one. It is not the job of the oppressed to comfort the oppressor. That's not our job. And I'm tired of white people and a whole lot of other people feeling like it's our job to explain to them or help them do the work. Do the work your damn self. There's something called Google. There's something called YouTube. There's no reason in 2021 why you shouldn't be able to do the work and why another black person should have to hold your hand to fucking do it. Not necessary. Not necessary at all. So then Rachel comes out, okay? When Rachel comes out, I love the fact that he put her on the big screen, like, put the picture up. So when you look at that picture, what you see? And she said, ignorance, and I didn't know anything about the history, and I never asked about the history, and I never took the time to figure out, like, why is it that we do it this way? Why is it that we do it this way? And I don't know if this is true, but I heard somebody say that for like a lot of them antebellum parties that they be having, like, they be hiring black people to like walk around and be like servants and stuff. So if that is true, and if that's what was going on at that party, then I'm a little bit confused on how the fuck you didn't know. Blink, 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 blink. Hottie blink. Shout out to y'all if y'all know what that means. Hottie blink. Okay? Like, it doesn't fucking make any sense. So then he asked her, like, why were you ignorant? Like, why was you ignorant? I don't know, but there was something, I was living for some reason to see a black man question a white woman about why she was stupid. That gave me life internally. I don't know why, but it gave me life. But she was like, there's no excuse. The only thing I will give Rachel is that for in front of us, on camera on this special, she didn't really make a whole lot of excuses as to why she did what she did. She did not. She was just ignorant purposefully, okay? She was ignorant on purpose. Then he asked her, why did it take you so long to say something? And she said she needed time, and she didn't get why everybody was upset. Girl. This is what Matt was, and when she said that, so this is the shit that Matt was talking about. Like, the fact that I even have to explain to you why people are upset. I wish I could live that willfully ignorant. I really do. Like, there is a privilege that a lot of that white people get by being able to be that ignorant their entire lives and it never affect them. I wish I could just be that willfully ignorant. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Do you know how easier my fucking life would be? Good golly, Miss Molly. So then he asked her, what steps are you taking, to, I'm sorry, I gotta hurry up. What steps are you taking, And she was like, well, I could sit up here and list you a whole bunch of stuff, but she never listed anything. But it's just more so about doing the work, okay? And then she says that she never, like, he asked her, like, what did you think? Like, you must have thought at some point in time that these pictures would come out. And she was like, I really didn't. I really didn't think it because I didn't think I did anything wrong. So then when he asked her about the breakup and how that was, she said that she was shocked by the breakup initially. And she was like, well, if you love me and if you care, like, why are you leaving me? And she said eventually she realized why that must have hurt him. But initially she just really didn't understand. Willful ignorance fucking it. So then Matt comes out or whatever, and she apologizes to him for not understanding why he broke up with her. And it was the silence. It was the silence for me. It was the silence. He was like, Matt just the best part was when Matt said and Emmanuel said, wow. That cracked me the fuck up. Then we get back from commercial. Matt still not saying something. Emmanuel was like, all right, Matt, come on. Speak your mind. Nigga, we only got an hour. You got to fucking talk. So he pretty much said that what bothered him the most is that he had to explain why it was problematic and like she didn't have any idea at all. Oh, I don't have much time, but I got to get this fucking point across. They're not going to get back together. He doesn't want to be responsible for white woman tears, and I understand that. And, any last words? She said, I'm sorry, be happy, and I'm thankful that you was in my life. And then when he was like, all right, do y'all want to embrace one more time? Matt said, hell the fuck no. He didn't even say nothing. He didn't hug her. He didn't say shit. And then at the very end, we found out that the Bachelorettes is going to be Katie and Michelle. Katie going to go first. Shout out to fucking Katie. And then Michelle. I'm not reviewing Katie's season, so sorry, y'all, but I will review Michelle's season when she comes back on. However, what I did want to talk about real fast, because I don't have that much time, is this right here. When he said, like he said earlier, you just don't get it, what it means for me to be a black man or for us to have black kids. And what I want to understand is, why was that never brought the fuck up? I said in the beginning of reviewing the show, if race does not come up at all, then this is all bullshit. I don't understand, Matt. You play a part in this because you are also willfully ignorant. For you to be a black ass man in America in 2021 and not think that race is a conversation that needs to be had, specifically when you're getting with a white woman, that boggles my mind. And I don't know if it's because you have a white mama, so you don't never really think about things like that, but you need to be a little bit more cognizant of shit like that. You are a whole black man in America. And then have a conversation with a white woman about what that would mean, y'all being together, what that would mean for y'all kids. You didn't pick her brain. You didn't see what it is that she know and that she didn't do. You could have even did that with somebody like a Michelle too, even though clearly she gonna get it more. But Matt, this is partially your fault too. I'm sorry, because you were just as willfully ignorant and willfully not paying attention enough and just going along with the fucking go along, because you, in my opinion, I feel like you didn't want to fucking shake the table. You should have been asked, not just Rachel, from the beginning. You should have been having conversations with these women about race, specifically if y'all was doing this last year amongst the Black Lives Matter situation. That should have been one of the first fucking conversations that y'all had with each other, which is, what is your thoughts on Black Lives Matter? What would it be like if we had children? It ain't the same with you and Michelle as it is with you and Rachel. That's a completely different fucking conversation. So, Matt, you're just as willfully ignorant. Y'all wasted my time this entire season. This was the first season that I watched The Bachelor, and I feel like I wasted my entire fucking time. I wasted my time. I mean, I had a good time with y'all because y'all are awesome. My subscribers are awesome. But ABC wasted my time. And I don't care what nobody say. It was a scheme set up by Todd to come to us with the bullshit.